Mario's first game was not Super Mario Bros. Or Mario Bros., but instead Donkey Kong. On the subject of Mario, did you know that Mario himself isn't actually Italian? His brother Luigi is, but Mario is actually German. You can tell by the way his hair and mustache are different shades. This was 100% intentional because Mario in German means red warrior. From red to green, we go from Mario to Samus. Samus Aran's name comes from the Hindi word Samasaran, which means osmosis. This was done on Nintendo's part to show how fluid Samus transitions between screens in the game. From one bounty hunter to the next, Kirby made his debut in 1992 following several controversies, one of which is where his name actually came from. It's common misconception that it came from the line of Kirby vacuums, but it actually came from the mythical being Kerbalotharos, a demon of gluttony. This also explains all the demonic imagery late in the games, for which the series is known for. Kirby's lesser demonic rival, King Dedede, is actually a shortening of his mantra, devotion, destruction, and determination. Now we can see where Toby Fox got his inspiration from. From there, we move on to another game that inspired Undertale, Fire Emblem. Fire Emblem has seen several releases across multiple platforms, many of which not being released in the US and staying Japan exclusives. One game, however, Fire Emblem 4 for the Super Famicom, wasn't released anywhere as the number 4 is considered bad luck. From unreleased games, we go to unreleased consoles. We all know about the planned PSX console that would be able to play PlayStation 1 and Super Nintendo games. But did you know? Nintendo tried again in the early 2000s. A planned combination of the GameCube and PS2 would be known as the Game Station. Early subliminal advertisements were tried out and pulled before the system began development. This explains why some parents of the era refer to the consoles as such. The end of a console's lifespan can also be detrimental in releasing a game. For many years, fans of the Earthbound series have been begging Nintendo for a Western release of the game Mother 3 for the Game Boy Advance. However, the GBA was discontinued in 2010, making it physically impossible to play the game even now. Some games don't even leave the cutting room floor. A planned standalone Waluigi game, known as Waluigi's Kingdom, was cancelled early in development as it was deemed too frightening for children and many of the adult staff. Going off from Nintendo's least favorite child to most favoritist, we have, of course, a Zelda. Speaking of the titular princess, did you know that Zelda's first appearance in the series was actually in Ocarina of Time? The Zelda in the first game was actually Pauline from Donkey Kong. Looks like Mario enjoys having a significant other have relations with. However, Zelda wasn't the only princess in the Zelda series. After the success of Twilight Princess, Nintendo had to make sure to remove Midna from subsequent games as her popularity was getting out of hand. Aside from other things missing, the reason Link cannot jump in most of his games is because the button usually reserved for jumping is assigned to another action like rolling or swinging the sword. Star Fox is next. For many years, Star Fox has been experimenting with on-foot and tank combat. But did you know that there was going to be a mode in Star Fox Zero known as the Star Garden? Players would have to grow specific vegetables to use as biofuel for the R-Wings before setting off on missions. Nintendo finally hit its furry slice of life stride with the Animal Crossing series. In the early development of the game, players could actually get a game over if they didn't pay their mortgages on time. Along with that, the player also had to fill out their in-game taxes during the month of April. Nintendo also figured out gardening with the creation of Pikmin. The original game was known for its time limit of 30 in-game days. The reason for this is because during playtesting, the players would just spend the days spending time with their Pikmin, giving their names and going on walks. This led to people not actually wanting to complete the game. Speaking of accomplishments that take a long time, we all know that how in the original Pokemon Red and Blue, you could, using your Game Boy printer, print out a little piece of paper showing that you have caught all 150 Pokemon. But did you know you could do the same as well in the newer games? Simply load up your Pokédex completion percentage, use the 3DS's screenshot button, and save the image onto an SD card. Then, insert the SD card into your PC, copy the image over, and then print it out using your home printer. You can even print it in color too! Of course, we can't fail to mention everyone's favorite Pokemon, Yoshi. People seem to wonder how Yoshi can lay eggs. But it's actually very simple. Yoshis have only one sex and gender, and that is Yoshi. Although the Switch is a new console, plans are already underway for what format the games on the next Nintendo console will be. An idea is currently being discussed about putting the games into large spherical cartridges, as the bittering agent used in the Switch cartridges still did not deter grown adults from putting their products into their mouths. Facts 1 through 19 are all made up, and this video serves as a parody countdown list. This is the disclaimer for the video, so that nobody gets mad and leaves a comment saying, "Actually, number 3 is not true." Thank you for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, click the bell icon, and also make sure that you are subscribed so that more hot garbage can be shoveled onto your subscription feed.